How are you? How was your weekend? And how is your end of year going right now? Huh? You're wrapping up good? Working out okay? Get 2020 out of the way, get into 2021. That'd be awesome if we could do that and a big smile on our face. That'd be very cool. It's the Daily Boost from MotivationMove.com. I'm excited about next year. We're going into our 15th year of doing the Daily Boost podcast. As they say in that old country song, I was podcasting before podcasting was cool. I think when we started, we were like 10,000 podcasts in the world. There's 1.6 million now. And we're still sitting right at number 15 in the education category over there on iTunes, so thank you for that. Every day it comes down to this. Success, happiness, whatever you want in your life, whatever you want, it doesn't really matter. It's actually fairly simple. It's a strategy. It's things you do. It's a mindset. That's all. Once you know those things, then you just do them, right? Yeah, that's the problem. It's a little difficult day by day to keep doing these things, which is why it's not so easy. Simple, but not easy. You need to be committed as you head off on a goal. There's no doubt about that, but you need as well somebody to support you and pull you through to the finish line, which is what we do here today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We just keep on going. How are you? It's me, Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. This past week, I've had a great time. I've been doing my 60-minute coaching sessions, and I don't do these too often. I open up the calendar from time to time to do that and talk to so many cool people. And I had a gentleman ask me, he said, Scott, what are you doing in one of these sessions? He's thinking about doing it. I said, well, I have really two goals. Figure out what you want. You tell me that. We work that out. Sometimes that's the hardest part, right? We figure out what you want, and then we go, how do we get it? Discover a roadmap, if you will, to get there. Figure out what problems are there, what's been stopping you, what's been holding you back, and what challenges. And are there any costs to that, to not doing that? Can we get through that? What's the prescription? If I were to sit here and say, hey, let's do this, and that's what I do, we decide based on experience which way is the best way to move forward. It's very cool stuff. If you'd like to take one of those sessions with me, just go to motivationtomove.com and look into the coaching section. It will explain everything to you. Maybe I'll get you on the phone. It is Monday, and that means on a Monday we ask the question, have you done your homework? Did you sit down and do your homework? Did you pay attention to what's going on in your life? Do you like what you have and you want to keep it? You got to work at it to keep it. Promise that. Otherwise, it might go away. Is there something in your life you'd rather get rid of? Until you decide and just go, you know what? I really don't like what's going on. I'd like to change that. It's very difficult to make those changes until you make that decision. Get my perfect week planner. It is at motivationtomove.com as well. Watch the video. It's a kind of a training session to teach you how to use this great tool I give you. Watch that so you know how. It will allow you to really look at every area of your life and decide exactly how you want to control it. It's very cool stuff. Works very well. A lot of people are using that right now. Surprisingly, it's what I've used for years, and they're using it. They're telling me about that too. So there is a term that I use in my dog world. Now, I never really understood the dog world before. So, I run my dog, Levi, in agility competition. I haven't done it a whole lot this year yet because of COVID and everything's kind of affected it. But when I got Levi out there, he's an Australian Shepherd. He runs very, very fast. And when you are running at the master's level like we are, there are 25 or 26 obstacles. You've seen that before. You've seen these courses where the dogs and the handlers go out and they run. And they're like, almost like the dog knows where the dog's going, right? Well, the dog doesn't know where they're going. The handler's telling them where to go. But when you look out there, in a dog's world, he's like, wait a second, I just came through a tunnel and now there's 4 more fun things I can go do. What do I do? Which one do I do? Tell me which. And the dog says, should I take the jump? Should I take the ramp there? What should I do? The dog doesn't know. See, there's an opportunity in front of the dog as he comes through this tunnel, raring at full speed, like, come on, Dad, we got to go really, he calls me Dad. We got to go really, really fast, but now what do I do next? And there's a cost to it because there's a way, you've heard this phrase before, opportunity cost, right? Have you heard that? What is that? Well, it's the value gained or the value lost depending on what you've done with an opportunity, whether you pursued it or not. Some opportunities cost more to go forward. Some opportunities you make more to go forward. Just depends on how you look at it, right? So when I'm on this dog agility course with my dog Levi, he's coming out of a tunnel. He's like, okay, look at all this fun opportunity I can have. But he knows if he goes to the wrong place, he's probably going to get called back. And there's a cost to that. It's called time. He's not going to win if he does that, right? So I tend to focus in my world and my agility world on something called obstacle discrimination. And that is teaching the dog and teaching myself in real life to really look at exactly what's out there and to very quickly understand which way I'm going to go and teach my dog to do the same thing. So when I tell him, go tunnel, he goes tunnel, not jump. He can discriminate between the two just based on the words. So in real regular life, as I'm going through my day, I have a question I use. I have a lot of questions, by the way. I have questions for just about everything. And I don't always say them exactly this way, but you'll get what I mean. When I am posed with an opportunity that I may or may not want to take, I simply say this. Does an opportunity, the one in front of me, does it provide the fastest and most direct path for me to reach my goals? That's it. Because presumably I would have set my goals and I'm focused on my goals and I want them, I'm committed to them. And therefore, the more I focus directly on those goals, the faster I'm going to get them, right? So if I have an opportunity in front of me, is it going to take me there directly and fast? That's what I want. Now, I don't want the one that's going to take me slow. Let me give you an example. Really, really common. Like once a week I hear this question. Scott, I've got this opportunity. It's not exactly what I want. It's kind of I think it might get me there if I took this job or I got in this relationship or I met with this friend. That's very cool stuff. If I did that, maybe in a year or two to get me where I want to go. My answer is always, is that the fastest way for you to get to your goal? Assuming you know your goal. And if it's not, then don't do it. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is a way to get in the door, right? Like they say, you want to get in the door, but the door won't open. Find a window that's open and crawl in through that. Sometimes that's the best way to do it, but not always. But if you filter it, just run it through a filter. There's an opportunity that's sitting right in front of you. Is it the fastest and most direct path for you to reach your goal? Yes, go. No, don't do it. What do I do? It could have been. You have to make a decision, right? It's really easy to look at almost any opportunity that comes your way, unless it's a bad one. Bad ones we kind of know pretty well, but the ones that are kind of on the fence that maybe could be good, it's really easy to justify your energy and your path and your focus. Really easy. Like I said, well, I took this, maybe that'll happen. Maybe I'll get there someday. How many times does it really happen to you? It's always better if you're focused. Have you ever worked for a job and you took the job, maybe part-time hours or maybe at a lower position, and suddenly you found that you can't get yourself raised up, you can't get the advance, you can't get the promotion, you can't do it? What do you have to do? 9 times out of 10, you got to go get another job someplace. New people see you as somebody they really want. The other folks say, oh, no, you're good there. Really easy to justify the path, especially if somebody's trying to persuade you to stay where you are. And they do. If you're really good at what you do, why would somebody take you out of what you're doing and give you something else? That's a problem for them. Gets confusing, doesn't it? It really does. But it's life. It happens all the time. So the truth is this. If we can simplify it, and that's all I really do, I just break things down as simply ridiculous. If your life is a little stalled or you're not getting where you want to get fast enough, maybe, and you want to break free from that, you just need to really eliminate anything that takes you off track and stay focused on your goals. And how you do that is that question. Does this opportunity right now in front of me give me the fastest, most direct path for me to reach my goals? Yay or nay? To get parliamentary on you. Could it be that simple? Yeah, it is. A long time ago when I used to be in radio, I noticed something. I was in radio years and years ago. And I made a decision. I said, the people who stuck to what they did, the guys that just said, I only do morning shows or I only do talk radio, that kind of stuff, right back, they still do that now. I noticed something. They got it. They got to do what they wanted to do. Now, every now and then, they might have to maybe, they might have lost a job and take a couple of months off and then they get back in, but they always did what they wanted to do. The people that said, I'm just going to take the next thing, whatever somebody calls me, they offer me the gig, they never got the career goals they wanted. They basically just ended up someplace. They didn't become the person they really wanted to be. They become the person that others kind of made them. Obstacle discrimination. You look at it and you decide which one takes you where you want to go. It'll pay off for you, I promise. All right, see you tomorrow right here on The Daily Boost.